Welcome back to Seen It Before, where we're probably going to say something stupid about your favorite movie because we've seen it all before. I'm Danny.
Is this Seen It Before?
I don't know. The days are blending in. We're on the set so often now.
Yeah, it's every week like it's been for the last year. You know, it's just something like that. I'm Dan, by the way.
It's just what we do.
Yeah. So anyway, Interstellar, the 10-year re-release of Interstellar. You know, a few weeks late, but here we are. We're going to finally get to it. I'm going to change Danny's mind, hopefully, on this movie. But, yeah, before we get into all that nonsense, let's get to it.
So, Interstellar, when I think of this movie, I get immediately disappointed because it's like, this was like the first movie after the Dark Knight trilogy that, like, Nolan was doing. Like, he's like, oh, so now Nolan's, like, out of this whole, like, franchise movie thing. Now we're gonna see like more auteur movies because I was a big fan of his work before with
Inception,
but Prestige, that's my favorite.
Prestige is great. Yeah,
and no, I don't think a lot of people talk about it. Like,
I know they don't. It's really good. It's a period piece, but it's like it just has something about it that makes it stand out. It's Hugh Jackman. Anyway,
he doesn't even sing.
I know, Music Man. With no warm up.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, and Memento too. I mean, all
Memento's
those
great. Oh,
yeah.
So good. Yeah. So anyway, so that Nolan's made his name for just being this singular voice, and then now he's coming out with this, you know, epic space journey. And then Interstellar comes out, and I'm just like, okay. That felt like a waste of time to me. And like, I know, I saw it for the first time on a cell phone while I was in study hall, over 3 different periods because it's a 3-hour movie and so on. Anyway, so yeah, definitely not the most ideal experience to watch it, but I did rewatch it in the years between, and like I still didn't really like it.
Man, if you saw my expression the first time you did see my expression, but if you saw my expression the first time he said that to me, I was just like,
yeah, like no shit.
What? What? It's crazy. But yeah, no, my first experience with Interstellar was in the theater in 2013, 14.
10
That's 10 years. Yeah. Hey, you couldn't forget how old I was. I don't want to hear it. Anyway, so yeah, no, it was good, but it just, I don't know. I think I watched it with my friends and I was still at the end of high school and it really just didn't hit as hard. But now 10 years later, that perspective is 9 years later when I watched it first. It changed a lot. Like my perspective about it changed a lot because of, you know, this is what our world could be. We could be eating corn for the rest of our lives.
Ew. I don't even like
just corn.
It's like the worst. Well, broccoli's the worst vegetable.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Brussels sprouts are the worst vegetable.
No, Brussels sprouts can be good.
No, they're not.
They can be really good.
No.
Get a little olive oil, garlic, crisp it up in the fryer. Oh, so good.
Anyway, back to corn.
Back to corn, the more exciting of the vegetables.
I wouldn't say that.
Or the grains? It's not a grain.
No. But
it's a certain type. Never mind. Continue.
Anyway, so farming.
Farming.
Farming corn it's the only thing that can survive in this dust bowl of a time that the earth is in this movie.
How lame.
Yeah, right. It's like the Great Depression, but more depressing. There's not a lot of humans around. There's drones still flying around apparently, but
and people got to get their packages from Amazon.
People can, and apparently some engineers can program them to just fly them themselves. That it was cool, but like I was like, what is this? What's going on?
They like hijacked a
like it literally
drone.
But I mean, the military doesn't really exist anymore. I mean, they're all either underground or whatever. Who knows?
Yeah, that's something I liked about the movie, where like they kind of take revisionist history, or like a little bit like what happened if they realized that they in this universe NASA lied and they didn't land on the moon. Now they're like the government, or everyone doesn't trust the government anymore, and now it's like, and they just kind of died out. You know, they and now so like they're debunked and defunct underground, and like, you know, something I like that, like little world building lore ish part.
Well, that's another part about this. Like, it wasn't just written by Christopher Nolan. Jonathan helped him write this one, and it's also Jonathan Nolan, his brother, and also it's based in science. This whole movie is based in science. Like, they actually went through and got all the notes from these physicists and just science people.
Well, I know that they made the first science people. They made the first actual simulation or computer or CGI like representation of a black hole, or like in the fifth dimension, right? Is that the whole thing? So
something like that.
The first like idea, conceptual thing of it, which obviously the cinematography and the graphics of this movie
it's
are
Hoyt.
fucking insane.
Hoyt is so
Amazing.
good.
And so that's where like the cinematic aspect comes in.
Yeah.
Like so like I've changed my tune on this movie a little bit from like not really liking in the beginning, but I do still have my gripes with it.
Yeah, it's probably the plot, but like everything, like physical about it, like the making of it,
All the
is
technicalities.
so good.
Out of this world. It's
And
literally.
They also, most of the special effects, like say when they're on the wave planet and everything, they were all done before the movie even started filming, so they could actually see where they were. Like the actors could see where they were, which was a really cool.
What do you mean?
They did the special effects work beforehand, so they could see like this giant, massive wave coming at them. It was all done on greens. Some kind of
okay. So they have like the volume type thing.
Kind of. I don't think it's the volume before the volume.
Before yeah.
But like they did that kind of technology for this movie, and that's really cool.
That's cool. He likes to do everything practically.
I mean, yeah, that most of this movie was done practically. I mean, they did the whole Star Wars thing with the ships and everything, like all the miniatures. I mean, it's really well done.
I can definitely appreciate that because you don't see many filmmakers doing that nowadays, especially because I watched like this movie or this video breaking down all like the different box office flops of the year, and like I don't know why studios are putting in, because you have to make 2.5 times your budget to break even, right?
Yeah.
Why are studios dumping like hundreds of millions of dollars into movies that literally had no chance, even the best scenarios, to make their money back?
Because they have money to burn. These studios have money to burn. They're just like, yeah, all right. That's what they're doing.
Okay, fine. I'm not going to pay because it's not my money anymore.
Yeah,
I'm not giving them money.
The investor stuff. I don't know. It's
burn to the ground. I don't give a shit. It's not about the money.
All right. Different Nolan movie.
Anyway, but yeah, Jonathan Nolan. I think he doesn't really get a lot of credit. Especially because Christopher Nolan is the name, right?
Yeah. Jonathan's making a name for himself again.
Yeah.
I mean, he started with what was it, Westworld, and then he went to Fallout now. I mean,
first season of Westworld, amazing.
Yep.
After that, I lost track.
I mean, I don't think he stayed on through that whole show.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just kind of stuck around for season one.
Maybe just a producer role. I mean, I think he wrote the first season.
Something definitely felt different and off after the first season.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there. But, Fallout's good. Not that I'm, like, really into, like, the video games of it.
Yeah, but it makes you appreciate it. Yeah. And then the world building, all that aspects with it. So
and he co-wrote Dark Knight.
Of course, yeah.
With Christopher. So, like, and I think people break down, like, the high kind of rivalry between the two, and they kind of, I think it's the most like crystallized version of like their ideologies, but it's not too on the nose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's not. No, it's definitely not too on the nose. You're talking about Interstellar, right?
Or Dark Knight.
Oh yeah.
Well, this is what I would say. It's or Interstellar. I would say it's a little too like, because Anne Hathaway literally has this thing like, love is the only thing that transcends everything.
I mean, we just both don't like Anne Hathaway, so I mean,
I just it's so it's just so clunky. Like, okay, so like there's a bunch of different things that are so clunky. There's just like so like this is what we're trying to convey, and it's like I think it just needed a few more runs in the subtext department. Like the ideas are great. Like I really like what they're going for. Like that, like they're because this story is all about Cooper giving up the one thing he has, which is time, so his kids can have the time. So it's like kind of like a deadbeat dad story, but like good.
But yeah, literally, it's a family story, but it's also about you only have a certain amount of time.
Yeah, which is Nolan's whole theme of every movie.
Every movie, all
about playing with time. So
and it's great. So. All All right, let's get back to the plot a little bit. So after the whole first act of, corn, and then Murph getting in trouble at school because she beat up a kid, that whole thing.
Yeah, fucking bitch.
Young Timothy Chalamet
Yep.
as his son, and then Casey Affleck is the old adult version of him. That was a weird change, but and then we get to the NASA hideout, I guess, because
they get coordinates from, which we now know it's Cooper, but from the bookcase.
From the bookcase, yep.
Hey, there's coordinates to
it's
this.
gravity. So gravity is what created that. I'm like, that's kind of interesting. Rewatching that, I was just like, how does that work? But obviously,
like plucking it like a string, but it's being translated from the dimension into gravity.
So cool.
Very interesting.
That's the kind of stuff that's cool. I don't know if it's real or how that would even like.
Well, obviously, I don't think it can be real.
I mean, most of this stuff is based in fact, though, in this movie. So, like, I don't know what could be real and what isn't. Maybe this is how they would represent it, but it might not be the way it actually is conveyed. Cooper was an Air Force pilot. He was a pilot of some sort.
Yeah, he's one of the last pilots on Earth. I think because they sent all the other pilots to do the same thing that he's doing.
Yep.
Right. But now,
essentially, yeah.
But now they discovered that there's a black hole or something opened up. And then they're like, oh, it could lead us to a habitable planet. But
at this point, we know the other astronauts went out there as well, I'm pretty sure. Like, he was told, like, there were others out in that dimension that went through it before.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon, and then the others as well, yeah. Then the one who was on the wave planet. And then there was another one. But there's so many of them. There's three. There's not so many. I don't know why I said there's so many. There's three.
I can't even keep track of them.
Yeah.
One.
So,
two. What's next? Well, Michael Caine is like lying.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. You ever hear like how like you pronounce his name? You just try to say my cocaine.
Yeah.
But in a British accent, Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Anyway, he is kind of an asshole, I think, but he's right. He's right. So he's got to basically lie to humanity and be like, hey, I know the secret. I have this equation that will fix everything. Cooper, you just need to go do it. And then but then the real plan is the embryos that are on the thing to just kind of make a fucking beeline.
The B plan is really the A plan. Yeah. It's like, a whole switcheroo.
Let's try it out. Let's see what happens. And, Anna Hathaway ends up being the one to go do that. Which I think it's just funny because it's like like they go through all of this just for Matthew McConaughey to figure out the equation, send it back to Murph through the bookcase thing, and then
have a handshake with Anne Hathaway in the black hole.
She's like, goodbye. She's like, I'm going to go find a planet. We don't even know if she finds it. Cooper, at the end of the movie, Cooper's just like, I'm going to go find her.
Well, I mean, we see her on another planet with a colony. We do see that.
Oh, what?
Did you not see that? That was her at the end on that planet with the colony.
Oh, I thought it just ended with Cooper just being like, I'm going to go fly and find out.
No, there's more after that.
Oh, fuck.
It's like just that. It's really just that.
Okay, so we do know that she... Okay.
She is on another planet with a colony.
Now it makes me think... So that, I'm jumping all over this place, but when they get to the bookcase scene inside the Tesseract, right? Why is it personalized for Cooper? Is that... Because they say it was created by future humans.
The future human higher being things. Yeah, that's just the way they...
But is that Cooper?
No, I don't think it's Cooper doing that.
Because it just seems such like a personal, like inside
Could be
thing.
His ancestors or something like that. That were somehow able to personalize.
Backwards?
No.
Or his descendants?
His descendants. Okay. Like further on. Because like obviously there were more of them that were held around Murph's bed when she was... dying. So maybe one of them is responsible for that, maybe.
So we just don't know. I just felt like that was like a little like because of the story needs to happen, it's like a personal tie thing.
Because plot, kind of. Yeah. It's kind of like that, but also, I mean, it doesn't need to be resolved. It's still a complete story for the most part. I mean, I don't think there's going to be a sequel.
No.
Nolan
don't do that.
No.
Unless he's paid a lot of money by Warner Brothers.
Adapted, yeah. So let's talk about these planets. So let's talk about the wave planet. I like the whole part of it where they get there, they land just as this other wave takes the person they're coming to save away. Like the way time works, that's crazy because they had left like so long ago, and they had just gotten to that planet, and Cooper's pod got there just after the wave crashed through them.
What happens on the wave planet? That's what kind of kicks them 23 years.
It's, I believe, 7 years per hour or something like that. It's crazy, or 6.5, so, like dog years. Basically, that planet. It's wild.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, and then apparently during filming of that, they were in Iceland or Greenland, somewhere like that, and Anne Hathaway had a puncture in her suit actually, and that was freezing water, so she almost fucking died that day.
You gotta suffer for your art.
Literally, art is suffering. No,
I'm good.
I'm good.
I don't need to make a movie. It's fine.
But yeah, Tars is great. Matt Damon is not. So let's get to Matt Damon's planet.
Fuck Matt Damon, bro.
Dude, like, what is up with Matt Damon in space? Like, we talk about that every time we.
Yeah, well, this year he was like, or in 2014, he's like, I'm stranded in space.
2015.
2015, I'm stranded on Mars.
Okay.
I was like waiting for him to do another one in 2016. Just like, this is his thing now.
Nope. It's not his gimmick. But yeah, so they get there and they're also filming in Greenland or Iceland. It's just like a few miles down the road, literally, and it's just ice.
Which I like that entire look. Like that's the poster, like that whole planet. I love the look to it. It's like mostly white with little cracks of black kind of throughout there. But this whole entire scene is like, I get what they're going for. Like it's 2001, a crew member goes crazy, tries to, sabotage the mission, right?
Or alien, yeah.
And then the doctor, his name is Dr. Man. And like, I get it. Man versus man. I get it. Just a few more rounds of subtext. Just like that, you know what I mean? It's just like, that's what's so clunky about this movie. And like,
okay.
The thing, it's so, Nolan is so mechanical, and then he wants to introduce these really saccharine themes of like love and time with your children, and something that every father can relate to, and like a really meaningful story, but which he has those elements in there. He just doesn't know how to mix them, and then also on top these big philosophical, problems of like, or is man the real enemy to himself? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I get it, but like, yeah, Hans Zimmer knows how to bring stuff together. My God, that score, the score,
the score is great.
The score is always great. And he's just playing around with an organ most of the time. They're just in a church, on a church organ.
Yeah, which I think they wanted to give like a godly vibe, even though there's really nothing really about religion in this movie. They just kind of make it sound.
They make it sound like a higher power, but it's really just evolved humans.
I mean, maybe they are saying like, oh, like man is God or whatever.
Yeah,
like that, but
they don't ever actually. Very underlying subtext.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Just do that kind of subtext with the stuff you really you want to say. Like,
yeah. The scene that always makes me cry in that movie is the Murph scene. Him looking at the
right. Yeah.
Did that get you this time around or no?
No.
My God.
I'm just a cold person. I thought I felt mostly bad for the son because he's like
his son died. His first son died.
Yeah. Well, the Timothy Chalamet, the son, he just shrugged off by Matthew McConaughey. Like, so for a father that loves his children, he just loves his daughter. Like, kind of an asshole. Like, so ignored as a kid. He's like, well, like,
he gave him a truck.
Left him too.
He gave him a truck.
Oh, I got a truck. Oh, that barely fucking works. In a fucking dust bowl. That you ran down in a fucking cornfield right before you gave it to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's like shrugged off. He's not even named something cool. He's like Murph is Murph after Murphy's Law. That's a cool science thing, right?
Yeah.
This guy, what's his name? It's like Kyle or some shit.
It's not Kyle, but whatever. But I don't know. But then he's leaving
video messages for his dad for 23 years.
Mm-hmm. Seeking his
and like hey, Dad, this is my girlfriend. This is my son. Mm-hmm. We have kids. Like, we got married. Like, this is my whole life. Tom.
Yeah.
He's doing this whole, like, he's like, I love you, Dad, even though you left me too, but, I still appreciate you. And then,
Again, people can relate to that though too. Like people can relate to the kid trying to like bond with his father, even though he's like light years away.
Yeah,
like,
but then there's no
payoff.
There's no like acknowledgement. Like Matthew McConaughey is doing something shitty here.
Yeah.
But then Murph, who doesn't leave a message for 23 years, leaves one. He's like, "Hey, Dad."
Because she was the science. She was the science nerd, just like him. Yeah, I know.
I really care about only my daughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just like, which I get it. That part's good. I appreciate like she waited 23 years, and it's really meaningful when she has one. Or she does.
Yeah, then he sees it twice in the span of like however
like,
long. Because like then on Man's planet, it's when Michael Caine dies.
Okay.
So
yeah, well, because the message is we've hit the milestone where like when I come back. We could be the same age. Well, now she's the same age as he was when he left.
Yeah, that was the first message. And then on Man's Planet, it was talking to Anne Hathaway's character about like they wanted Plan B was Plan A. That's basically what she was. She was
like,
saying.
I never really had the shit figured out.
Yeah. And then
you're a jerk, Michael Caine.
Yeah, and then
how many astronauts did you kill?
Then Matt Damon takes Cooper out for a walk, a very long walk.
Yeah, a walk, and then tries to. What was his reasoning for killing him or trying to kill him anyway? It's just like
he needs to finish the mission. Essentially, I think he's gonna try to like take the specimens and everything and find another planet. I think that's
why kill Cooper. Why kill them?
Because he knows they're gonna get in the way.
Well.
They're gonna try to get home. That's the thing, and he doesn't want that.
Even though that's exactly what Anne Hathaway does at the end anyway.
Yeah, essentially. I mean.
Okay.
But all right, then the docking sequence, the last docking sequence, that thing, seeing that in IMAX, that was loud. I was like, oh, like I jumped. I was like, oh,
yeah,
my God, that's the first time I've jumped in a movie in a while. That was wild.
To an action, or well, not an action, but like a Nolan movie, and not like a horror movie.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for Christopher Nolan to do a horror movie. I think that's what they're hoping his next one's going to be. People are still hoping that.
I don't know what that would look like. The main character is probably going to be named Cobb. I can tell you that.
Well, the main character's going to be Matt Damon probably. Matt Damon or Tom Holland. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, because they signed on. Right?
They're both here. Let's go through who signed on. There's a few people. So we got Zendaya, Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, Matt Damon, Charlize Theron, and Lupita Nyong'o. That's a pretty stacked cast.
That is very stacked.
Yeah. So, and he's back at Universal again. So,
yeah.
Warner Brothers.
They're on the side note. Back to the whole green lighting movies with unreasonable budgets.
Yes.
Warner Brothers, fucking stupid, dude. Like. I think they did. Didn't they do? Oh well, they did. They did Mad Max or Furiosa.
Yeah,
which that was a good movie.
Furiosa or Fury Road?
Furiosa, the one that came. This was a flop this year. I liked it. Okay, I thought it was really good. I saw it twice. They gave too much budget to that because there's no way I was going to get its money back. 2.5 times the budget, not going to make its money back.
No,
you know what I mean. And then the Barbenheimer thing last year where they screwed over Nolan with their own movie. You know,
I mean, Barbie definitely made back that budget, but like,
well, I guess it was good for something to happen with the distribution rights or something with that whole scenario.
I don't know.
Where like Warner Brothers had something screwy going on there.
I mean, probably they always have something screwy going on.
But now it's a thing, and then they tried to do it this year with Saw Patrol, or last year.
Saw what is that?
Saw 10 or Saw X.
Oh,
and Paw Patrol movie were going to come out on the same weekend, so they were going to try to do that.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
It was lightning in a bottle, guys. You got to let it go.
But yeah, anything else you got on Interstellar? Because I mean, I
got so much on Interstellar. I really only have like 2 things.
Oh, what else you got?
I liked. So again, back to the whole. It's like the script learns how to be a script, a good script, and then loses it later on for certain things.
It's because the movie's too long. They were trying to probably fit too much in, and then it kind of got jumbled.
Yeah. But like I like the whole reframing of Murphy's Law. Whenever it's colloquially explained as whatever can go wrong will go wrong, right? Mm-hmm. But Matthew McConaughey explains, whatever can happen will happen. So not necessarily. It's a neutral opinion, and so like that's the whole like underlying message of hope. Like the Michael Caine's whole reason for lying to everybody is for everybody to have hope and to eventually get the thing figured out. And like so, and that's why it's like subtly explains why Cooper's the right person to go on this mission because he understands, I guess, subconsciously that hope, right? Mm-hmm. So I like that like subtle reframing. Then they'd lose it with the whole like the only thing that transcends time is love. I agree. This is a great movie because I think I kind of differ a lot with like a lot of people's their opinions on like what a good movie is. I'm definitely more of a story guy. If you can't tell me a good story,
yeah, you definitely
have a bunch of really awesome, spectacular things happening on screen, I don't really give a shit.
You're a structure guy.
I'm a structure guy. So like I care more about the script than the script and performances and the certain subtext and dialogue way more than like oh, that shot looks fucking cool. Like,
see, what I care more about is the technical aspects and the characters themselves. If you can't have good characters, then it's not going to work. I mean, and I think the characters are pretty well made in this movie. The script, it's a little clunky in places for sure, especially towards the end. And it's a slow burn. So, I mean, like, you're going to be sitting there for almost 3 hours for sure. But you may as well experience it in IMAX because that definitely made it Cameron's favorite Nolan movie when I saw it with him.
Cameron's definitely that kind of person who's like, I like the cinematic aspect of a movie. I like going into the theater with the lights off and seeing this giant thing on the screen.
I mean, there's nothing like it. I mean, going to the theater is better than just streaming it at home or whatever. Unless you have a huge in-home theater, but nobody is that rich.
I'm almost there.
No, you're not.
I have a big TV. I got a good sound bar.
Your sound bar is in storage.
Shut up. I got a nice big couch.
Yep. You're getting there.
I'm getting there.
You're getting there.
I got a subwoofer.
Woof.
Welcome to Woof.
What?
Woof. You ever see that like the dog who just has like
woof, woof, woof. It's a very pronounced woof.
I don't think that IMDb has this listed as like the 20th movie out of all the movies ever.
Really? I doubt.
Wholeheartly disagree.
I mean, it has Dark Knight at number 3, so
wholeheartedly disagree with that too. I think 12 Angry Men, because Paul actually sent me like the picture of the top 20.
Yeah, he showed me that too.
I definitely put like 12 Angry Men is like 5, and again that's an entirely screenplay movie. It could just as well be a play, right? Mm-hmm. So, but I think that one, the dialogue, the characters, the plot is so engaging for like a movie in like the 50s.
It's almost 3 hours long as well.
Yeah, but it's all just a debate on like morality and stuff. So it's great.
Yeah.
That should be like 3. I think Godfather 2 would be number 1.
Yeah,
Shawshank
I agree.
is, I really can't think of anything wrong with Shawshank. I've tried.
Yeah, no, there is nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's just personal opinion at that point. So, I mean,
maybe other than the fact that they don't really dive too much into what Red and Andy's relationship really is. I think there's something else there, but
you never know. Anyway, I think I've run out of all I need to say on it. But yeah, Interstellar is just a great movie. It immerses you in a way like no other movie does, and especially for a Nolan movie. Like, sure, Oppenheimer is a little longer than this movie. I'm going to compare these two by like they're both slow burns, but this one just has more of an atmosphere in it, and it fills that for it. It scratched that itch that like people have been asking for from Nolan for a long time, doing some space stuff where that was cool. I mean, and just Hoyt, his cinematography is so good. Right. The editing is solid. I mean, just the script, I agree. Probably could have used a few more passes.
Well, the reason I think I like Oppenheimer more, it's probably just a subjective thing.
Yeah.
It's just so, I like the political intrigue aspect of that.
Yeah, that's your thing.
More than we need to save humanity. I'm just like,
yeah, it's overdone, but like it was done in such a good way. I think a different way nobody's seen with real science in it, which is cool.
Well, I love that. Like, we don't actually see movies that actually try to be like that claim to be scientifically accurate and then are. Like, I think The Martian is the only other one that like I've heard general overall praise for being scientifically accurate.
Also, Matt Damon.
He knows how to pick them.
He does, or get signed onto him.
Because I know, except for the Great Wall.
Well, Well, you know, can't win them all. But yeah, overall, I think I'm gonna give this movie a. It's not my favorite Nolan movie, but I'm gonna give it a solid 91. It's a great movie. I will watch this once. It's a once a year watch, baby, for me.
For me, it's like a once a decade watch. So, So like, if I were gonna like rate this like as like how I feel about it, I'd say maybe like a 75.
Yeah.
But like objectively, I think this movie's great.
Yeah.
Like it's a good put together movie, and it, so I'm gonna give that an 88.
Yeah, it's a solid movie. I mean, it deserves it. And man, did it? Let's see what this got nominated for, because I forgot what it got nominated for.
If it didn't get nominated for
visual effects, oh my god,
they got robbed.
All right, so it won, visual effects. Yeah. It was nominated for score, which it should have won that too.
It didn't win Best Picture. That was Bird.
Sound mixing, it should have won. Holy shit, sound mixing, it should have won too.
Ironic, because he's like mostly criticized for that now.
Yeah, I know. Tenet. Yeah, and sound editing and production design was also nominated for. Not a lot of technical stuff on there. I mean, not editing or cinematography. Cinematography, it should have been nominated for.
Yeah.
My God. Yeah, so we're Seen It Before. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok with the handle @SeenItBeforecast. That's SCENE, It Beforecast. And don't forget to find us on Duel of the Debates with @DuelOfTheDebates. I'm Dan.
I'm Danny. You can find me on Instagram and on Danny_Was. My letterbox and serialized @DJ Was, or my YouTube channel, which is just Danny Was.
Next week. Our 2024 Roundup
Part 2. Because we did
our year in review, as you would say.
Yeah, so we're going to do, five movies we didn't get to talk about. Mm-hmm. Top 10 of the year.
Top 10 of the year, and our box office predictions for next year.
Yeah, what's going to make the big bucks, what's going to flop.
Yeah. So until then, we'll see you next time.